Good afternoon, race fans. It's Ninth Gear Broadcasting. We're back at Daytona. This time we're with Burnt Rubber Racing, and we're in for a treat out here, Kevin. 80 laps on the next gen cars. What are we looking at tonight, Kevin? How we doing?
Yeah, super exciting stuff. This is the opening race of the Burnt Rubber Racing Association series, and it is Daytona, Luke. It's going to be fast. It's going to be exciting. A lot of stuff's going to be happening, but we got 80 laps of next gen Daytona coming at you, and I think it's going to be a super exciting one. It's nice weather out. It's about 70 degrees out. 11-mile-per-hour winds. It's cloudy, got some overcast. Nothing too crazy. I think it's perfect racing conditions here for a super speedway showdown.
Yeah, and we're in for a treat, Kevin. Like you said, this is our first opening race out here with the Burnt Rubber Racing Association, and it's going to be an exciting one out here. We got 16 drivers on the field, so not the biggest field in the world, but I know, Kevin, you got the list of the drivers. If you want to take that away, the grid is all yours because I believe they're going to start taking off here any moment.
Yeah, and how about on your pole tonight? It's going to be the number 69 car of McCray Moore, a great qualifying lap for him. And on his outside is going to be ninth gear zone, Nick Donati. Your second row is going to be Travis Farmer and Ty Mosley. Your third row is going to be Nathan Manuel and Micah Walls. Fourth row is going to be Gabe Cazola and Travis Van Oostendorp. Fifth row is going to be Brandon Devine and Noah Osbaldeston. Sixth row is going to be Fidel Fabian and David Da Silva. Next is going to be Jonah Espy and Dalton Bernius. And rounding out your field tonight is going to be Landon Norris and Tanner Griffin. So a 16-car field, but a great group of guys, and I think it's going to be a super action-packed race tonight, Luke.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you out here, Kevin. This is one of my favorite tracks, Daytona. I mean, I think Talladega might take the cake over it, but either way, Daytona is easily one of my favorite tracks out here. A lot of room for draft, a lot of team racing involved out here. So I think team racing and a lot of big drafting is going to come into play out here. They're going around out
Yeah,
here. They're going green this time, guy.
yeah, and a couple rules to establish early. There's going to be green-white checkers, so that's not to be worried about if there's a caution. To around the last couple laps, it's going to be a two-lap shootout. Um, there's two fast repairs for these guys on the night. It's an 80-lap race with no stage breaks. It's going to be two fast repairs. So if you get in an incident, your day is not finished. Another thing to worry about is going to be fuel. I think we are looking at 100% fuel. I'm not 100% sure, Luke, if you know on that one. But if that is the case, I think it's going to be
75% fuel in these cars is what I'm reading right now.
75%
Six tire
fuel.
set limit. Seeing two fast repairs. I believe that's it. I'm not too sure. Did we just see a little bit of contact there, pacing around? Might have seen a
Very
little
well
bit
could
of.
have.
I think I might have saw a little bit of bumping there on the third line between third and second on the outside. I can't really tell, but whatever. Tough to say. Pace car is going to be going in this time. The officials got the green flag in the air, and we're getting ready to go racing out here, Kevin.
Yeah, and it's about a 30 lap fuel window, so a few pits are going to be happening tonight, but we are green here at Daytona. And the season opener with Burnt Rubber, 80 laps to go. Here we go.
And off we go there. Two wide all the way through turns 1 and 2. Inside line has the numbers, but the outside line is still keeping up speed despite being down quite a few cars. Just getting up to speed here. Lines are a little choppy. Michael Walls right now. He's in the lead right now. Travis Van. Oops. I'm sorry, this is going to be a tough one for me all night. What's it? Van Oostendorp? Van Oostendorp. Said apologies, that's going to be a tough one for me all night. They've got some separation here. The guys behind them. Gabe Pizzola and Noah Smolkins. They're tightening things up. We're 3 wide here, and they're wrecking early through turns 1 and 2. The whole front field is wrecking. About 2 cars are up in the wall. The 48, Michael Walls, he was just leading just a few moments ago. His car is badly damaged. He's going to have to go into the pits here. That's our first caution on the night, Kevin. Kevin, you there?
And my mic has been muted.
I wondered
But
if that
yeah,
was
I mean,
the case.
they all got stuffed up very tight there, very early, and yeah, it seems like just all of them ran out of real estate. Not quite sure who's to blame there, but a lot of damage for a lot of guys, including Michael Walls, who started off the night super hot. He does have a fast repair, 2 of them actually, so his night's not over, but definitely not a great start for him.
You see, it all happens here. They're currently 2 wide up here through the lead, getting ready to go through turns 1. That 89 just has so much speed going out of that turn. Forces them all to kind of get bunched up there. They all get 3 wide. I mean, I really didn't see the contact, I'll be honest. That was just a scramble. 47 kind of ran the line a little tight on the inside, I think. I don't know. That's tough to say. Regardless, they get bunched up there 3 wide going through turns 1 and 2, and we wreck early out here. Maybe, like you said, Micah Walls. I'm seeing Van Oostendorp going into the pits, Griffin going into the pits. But we're pacing around out here for the first time, Kevin.
Yeah, and you know what happens fast out here, especially at tracks like Daytona and Talladega. You know, these super speedways, you can blink your eyes and they'll be running completely straight, completely fine, and, you know, the whole field will be collapsed. But, definitely not what you want to see for a couple of these guys here early, but, some of these other guys are going to be able to, probably, make something happen off of that. De Silva hops into P1, Osbaldiston was running like 4 or 5. He's up into P2. He was able to clear it. You know, look, it happens about 3 laps in, on an 80-lap race. I was just saying, right when we went green for the first time, that it's looking like it's going to be about 30 laps on each, fuel stop. So it really makes you wonder, are any of these guys going to come in and touch up? I mean, I would assume not, but, you know, not a crazy large fuel window, so any different strategies, could prove to work out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough to say out here early. So few laps ran right now. I don't know what these drivers are thinking out here. I mean, I think they're still trying to kind of get settled in, get things figured out here after that early wreck. That was like their first real 3 wide, run of the race. Didn't go that well, so I'm hoping, they kind of work things out here and we can maybe get a couple 3 wide runs going here and get that clean going maybe. I would assume the matching paint schemes have a significance there, Kevin. I don't know if that's a team up there in the front or what, but I would assume that has some significance. They're probably working together to some degree.
Yeah, and that's going to be Nova Esports. It's going to be the two of them, and then one Brandon Devine, who's running currently in P15, maybe involved in that last incident, so he's catching back up, but that is going to be a team.
Good on them, leaving the inside and the outside line. That's a great position for them to be in right now.
No doubt about it.
A lot of options coming their way. It'll be tough to pass them by. So we're going to be going green this time by. They're going through the back straight away. It's going to be David De Silva. He's going to have the jump out here on the inside line and the lead. Osbaldenston is going to be on his outside line. Pace cars in.
Pace cars in. It's going to be a Nova Esports front row as we go green here, and we are green, so a good jump on the inside line there as they sort of single file very early. A little bit of orchestrated positioning there. But here comes the 21 car of Fabian and the 69 car of Moore. Yeah, and they're all trying to get back to the front in a hurry, and top three looks to be running away with it a little bit. Because of that, they're 0.2 of a second ahead of anybody else as of right now, but it's sorting back together as they're all making moves, trying to find any positioning anywhere on this track.
Boy, that outside line is almost dead in the water. Driving that outside line right now.
And they're picking up a couple more cars, but I mean, right now it looks... Oh, and they're wrecking again.
Oh, boy.
Oh, and that's a hard
Jonah
hit.
Epsey goes hard into the wall there. And we're under our second caution. It seems as though the rest of the guys sorted it out after Epsey, but we're going to have to go back and take a look at that one. So we're under our second caution of the night up. And that's going to put us on Brandon Devine. We'll just see where he was in that ordeal. We'll watch the blimp shot here, I guess. What happened up in front of him? I believe that happened right around Nick Devonte, if I'm not mistaken. We'll watch the car chase of him. Oh, yeah, you see the number 35 just maybe just comes down into him. Watch that back one more time. See that back one more time. So the Tide car goes up high, comes back down low. I mean, I don't think the Tide car was really clear to come back down. It's kind of tough to say there, to be honest with you. Mike might be muted, Kevin.
Yeah, and, it's one of those things where it could go either way. I think it's just another one of those cases of these guys trying to make moves too early, and that inside line's had a very quick run, and I think he didn't realize how fast they were coming up.
Yeah, he just kind of, I'm watching that. From that angle right there, he totally just came down into him. Maybe let's watch that back from his view, like maybe his driver cam. What is he, the number 95?
95.
Jonah Epsey. Let's go and watch the cockpit view here.
Yeah, and as you can see, he goes up to the second line, comes back down fairly quickly, but that gap had closed by the number, I think, 98 of Donati and 93 of Donati, and just stacks them up and The 95 goes hard into that inside wall there, so I think that's already going to be his second fast repair.
And then you look at Nick Donati here at the end of that one. I'm seeing sparks flying behind his car after that one. He's going to probably have to go into the pits there. Definitely took some damage under the vehicle there. You can see the sparks flying. Yeah, he's definitely going to have to go in for repairs there, but that was an unfortunate one near the back of the pack. Most of the guys up front avoided that one, but quite unfortunate for some of the guys in the rear. And looking at Nick Dante, I'm not seeing the sparks behind the vehicle anymore, so hopefully he sorted whatever that was out. Just taking a look at the battle box.
Yeah, and he's going to pit lap 8, so that was last lap.
Yeah, no surprise there, no surprise there. And he still holds on to P11. Not a bad spot for him to be sitting after that ordeal.
No, not bad at all. And seems these guys are pacing around once again here, Luke. 2 cautions here early in this one. We've paced about half the race. It makes you wonder, are these guys going to be racing 110% like this all race, or are they going to settle in for a little green flag run tonight?
It's tough to say. I think it's really going to come down to the restart here. How clean is the restart going to be? They hold their lines true and everyone stays in their, on their respective lines here for a little while off the restart. I think they'll have a good shot at staying green out here for a while. But if they start jumping early and start scrambling again like we've been seeing, I think we're seeing the 48 bumping the 17 a little bit there while they're pacing around. Not too sure what that's about, but round and round they go. I believe they're going to be green this time by. It's going to be lap 11 of 80. Hard swerves to break in the tires there, somewhere in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, and it's going to be led by De Silva and Osbaldeston. Once again, the teammates still on the front row. Fabian P3, Moore 4, and how about Micah Walls. My apologies. Micah Walls is going to be all the way back up in P5 after getting involved in that first incident. He made up a lot of positions on that last run.
And, I wonder, Kevin, do you think the two leaders are going to be making a similar move to what they did the last restart? The outside line folding down below them on the inside?
Yeah, I'd imagine, it worked very well, so I'd imagine we see something similar. The inside line seemed to just take off and dominate last restart, but pace car's in, so we're going to have to just wait and find out, as I think De Silva has the command here, and we are green once again here at Daytona International. Yeah, a good jump for De Silva. Not as good for Osbaldeston, though, this time, as he's stuck out on the outside, and he's fallen back to P4. So, Fabian was prepared this time for it, and look at that run they're making. The 21 and the 48 on the outside.
17 and the 48. They're moving.
Inside line getting stuffed up a little bit. Stack up on that inside.
Outside line's getting a bit of a run. They're getting some numbers together. Around they come from the front stretch.
Oh, and they're pushing, they're beating, they're banging. That's the 89 and the 97 of or the 09 Cazzola.
And hard into the wall goes, who is that? Is that Mosley? That's Ty Mosley. Hard into the wall he goes, and his car is fucked. Going down the back straightaway.
Just absolutely killed there. We're going to have to go back and see how that one happened, because that was a hard hit. And he's 3 laps down, I'd like to point out. That is Mosley.
That is Mosley. Let's see, he's running up there in front of some of the guys. He's 3 laps down and just...
I have to go back and watch somebody's in car on that one and see.
I'll tell you what. Let's watch. I'll tell you what we could do. Let's watch the back of our own Nick Donati here. We can watch the rear here of his car. There we go. So let's see. Ty Mosley, he's going to be in the Mustang right there, off to the right in the Stanley Mustang.
He's murdered. Who's in the blue car? I think that's a Cottonelle movie.
47.
Say 47.
Be...
Yes. Travis Van Oosterdorp. Travis Van. Let's see an in car of Travis Van. Yeah, and the 77 kind of went up to that second line again and just came back down and didn't really have much business doing so. And obviously the 47 didn't lift, and the rest is history there, Luke.
Oh, yeah. I believe they're going to probably have to bring the trauma packs out and check Mosley for a concussion out there. His car is clearly fucked. I just wonder how bad his head's going to hurt after that one, as he took a slammer into the turn 1 and 2 wall.
No doubt about it. I mean, just a
and he's
violent
just now
wreck
leaving
there.
the pits. Just now leaving the pits. He's only 3 laps down still.
I'm impressed he was able to get into the pits.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we saw his front right tire just completely sideways.
Yeah.
But he's moving again. We got 2 fast repairs on the night, so I believe has he used 1 or 2, do you think, out here tonight, Kevin?
I don't know. I'm not quite sure what got him down that amount of laps, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was both of them, Luke.
So regardless, he's either out of fast repairs or only on 1 left, so he's got to be careful out here for sure. We're only 14 laps into this one, Kevin, but it's going to be Fidel Fabian leading us off here this time by. And we'll be going green with, I believe, on lap 16, I want to say. Kevin, how about Nick Donati? He's made his way up to 7th place.
Yeah, he started towards the back because he wasn't able to make it for the duels last night, and he's moved in the right direction. We would imagine he's used one of his fast repairs, but we'd imagine a lot of the field has, so not a bad sitting position for him. But how about also the 21 car of Fabian? We knew it'd be hard to get around the surge of the 2 purple cars of De Silva and Oswald Eston, and he was able to do it on that last restart and get a lot of speed with the help of Micah Walls.
That's actually going to separate the teammates there. It's going to put one on the outside line in the lead and the other one on the inside line behind the leader. A very easy, advantage here for them, but it's going to be an interesting one. Ty Mosley catching up here. He's only 2 laps down now.
Yeah, and the more cautions we see, the better for him, because he's the only one that's not on the lead lap, so he's going to be getting this free pass every single time. You see him sort back in behind the field as he's caught back up.
Let's see, Van Oostendorp, he's going to be catching up as well. Turns 1 and 2. be interesting to see what the teammates do here off the lead here for 24 and 25. So pace car is in, and we're going to be going green this time by.
And it's going to be the command off the inside of Fabian, and a good jump for him as he's clear and really wheeling it on the inside right now as he hops out in front of De Silva. But they're all single file up there in the front, about 4 deep. They start branching out
in the
double
back.
wide.
File back down to 2 wide there. Smart decision on those guys. The teammates make the pass, and they are up in the lead. That's going to be De Silva and Osbaldenston.
Yeah, you know, with them working together like that, it's going to be hard to beat tonight. As long as they can stay out of trouble, I think they're going to be a very strong force in this one. But how about that outside line working with Donati and Fabian, or Donati and Moore right now?
It's on a 9th gear zone out there. He's making a good run on that outside line. He's that behind him. It's going to be 69 of Ray Moore.
Yeah, and he's going to be stranded a little bit out there, but that inside line just dominating with the Nova Esports teammates, as well as I think Fabian's down there. But I'd like to point out that Divine in the 97 behind them is also their 3rd teammate, so all 3 of them working together as a team right now in P1, 2, and 3.
Oh, and they're wrecking hard across the front. They just get bunched up? What happened back there? It looked like they all just kind of fanned out up there for the lead. They're on the wrong camera there. I take back what I said. They're all held together. I'm really confused what happened there. Lap 18. We'll go back and watch that.
Yeah, and you know, the leaders are now 6, 7, 8, so something definitely happened. There's some sort of stack up that's apparent, but right now they're kind of running 2 lines, 1 line and kind of a 3 line, but the inside just dominating with Fabian, Donati, and who else but Michael Walls.
Donati electing to take the high line up there. He's stranded up there by himself. Vehicles approaching from behind. It's going to give the inside line a room to run. They just have more vehicles right now. That's apparent here. And Donati going to be filtered all the way back to P11. So they have a pretty single file as of right now.
Yeah, and you know, they're all settling back in. This is what you'd imagine would happen at this point in the race. They're all kind of calming down, realizing, hey, we don't need to keep having cautions.
So there's a bit of separation back there between Tanner Griffin and Travis Farmer. Assuming they stay single file, they're going to have room to run, but they're going to all begin to pass there, and they're 3 wide up there near the lead. See one back down to 2 wide. It just seems like the speed is really on the inside line right now when they have the vehicles. Come into turn 3. Wide up to the lead right now. It's going to be Osbaldenston Walls. Walls in the passed up there by mine. They're getting a good run up there. Looks like Landon Norris has fallen off pace of the main group out here. He's really starting to fall back, but Thorpe and Mosley are drafting together up behind him, so we do get an extended green run out here. He'll at least catch up with them so they don't get too far back with more laps down. Gonna keep Mosley in a good position. And saw a car below the line down there across the back straightaway, but they filtered things out, sorted things out. Aldenson has had quite the extensive laps led out here so far. That Michael Wall's getting a good run on the outside line. 17 behind him. That's Fabian. I just saw the tide car go up into the wall there a little bit across the driveway.
Yeah, got a little loose there, and it's going to start happening. They've got about 13 laps in these tires, Luke.
Oh, and contact up in the front. That's going to be Michael Wall sent back. Oh, and he jumps a little bit there on one of the little grass bumps, and he's going to be filtered all the way back to the back of the inside line. The rest of the guys in the front holding together. And we're still green out here. And that's going to put the... Sorry, you ever remind me of the team name again one more time?
Nova Esports.
It's going to put the Nova Esports guys close together now.
Right, 1, 3, and 4 right now.
Behind them.
McCray Moore of Griffin Motorsports currently mixed in there running P2, and ninth gears Nick Donati running P5, so a lot of different teams up there, but right now it still seems like Nova Esports is dominating this one.
Side by side right back here. Like 3rd to 5th place right now. Gotta imagine they're looking to get in line together out here pretty early. A little bit of a stack-up effect there on the inside line. Ooh, a little bit of door contact there by the 69. They are forming together on the... Oh, and they're wrecking up there early.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Hold it together, and they did not.
They did not. And we got multiple vehicles on the inside line. Tanner Griffin's one. Fabian is one as well. Michael Walls went off the track. We're going to have to go back and watch that one, Kevin. That was a wild one.
Yeah, no doubt. And, I don't know where that one started. I mean, that whole last lap we were watching from that angle, you could kind of feel it coming, Luke. I mean, they were bumping, they were pushing,
yeah.
they were really racing like it was last lap racing, and they caught up to them there. It happened right up there.
Happened like
between McCray Moore, I think, and Nick Donati.
Who's that in front of him? The night. Is that the 89?
That's McCray Moore, I think, 69.
McCray Moore. Okay, so we're right behind Nick Donati right now. Donati just kind of gets high up there in front of him. Seems like Donati held the inside line. Were they all just kind of hold the inside line there? There's a bit of a bump there. Kind of tough to say. It looks like Nick Donati was kind of bumping up a little bit there near the exit, trying to get some speed going. And
yeah, once again, like I said, just kind of seemed like it was these guys out here racing like it's the last lap when it isn't even close to it. So, not a terrible time for it to fly. I know some of these guys probably wanted to get that caution in, and now's their chance for that as the pits open up, and I think we're going to see some takers out here, Luke.
Tough to say. We're waiting here to look. Looking at the entrance of the pit lane, yeah, we're seeing quite a good number of drivers heading in there. Nick Donati leading them off out here, it seems.
They're really getting stuffed up back there.
Oh
a little bit. Seeing some lockups, but all in all, pretty. Oh, someone's backing up.
A little bit of troubles entering the pits here for some of the drivers, it seems, but looks like everyone's out of there with decent time.
Looks like Osbaldon's gonna win the race off, followed by Donati, Da Silva,
Griffin right there, I believe. That's Tanner Griffin.
Griffin, and then Bernius, I do believe. Then the rest are still hanging out in the pits.
They're all making their way out. Regardless, leading out here, it's going to be Divine and Manuel out here leading us off.
Yeah, and they both stayed out, maybe trying out a little bit of strategy here. If you could pull up the battle box. Oh, someone's taking the inner circle. But if you could remind me, Luke, what does Divine and Manuel's last pit look like?
Be the number on the left right there. It's going to be... Sorry, that's relative. Sorry.
P4, or lap 4 and lap 8 for Divine and for Manuel.
Alright, yeah, so Divine went lap 4, like you said. Manuel went P8. Okay. So, most of the guys up front all running different pit strategies out here. It seems like most of the guys behind them, though, are all running something similar. Osbaldonson, Nadi, and Da Silva all running lap 26. So about 4 guys running up front out here that haven't pit just yet, and I don't think they're going to. They're elected to stay out here. Ty Mosley getting another lucky dog lap out here. That's going to put him on the lead lap out here, Kevin.
Yeah, he's on the lead lap out here. Very impressive pickup for him, and much needed, because you hate to go down that many laps that early in the race. But he's pulled it back together, and he's back in a racing position here.
He's fought and clawed his way all the way back. He's back on the lead lap and seemed to be racing pretty hard there, even a lap down. So he's going to really be a force to be reckoned with out here, fighting in the back of the pack. We go green this time by. Now, Kevin, we've seen 4 cautions out here on the night so far. It seems like the guys are really racing hard here early on, like we said. I mean, at the rate things have been going, I don't see this one stopping or slowing down anytime soon, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Luke, I gotta agree. I mean, I thought maybe they, kind of just cruise around for a while and get some green laps in, but it seems like these guys want position.
We're wrecking a little bit back in the back around pacing. Watch that back just a little bit. I believe Fabian. Yeah, it's gonna be Fabian was involved there. I think I don't know what that was. Whoa! And what is that? The 48? The 48 of Micah Walls comes down and dumps Fidel Fabian while they're
It looks like
around.
Fabian knew it was coming and he ran away, but
Let's see that one more time because they're gonna be going green and yeah, they knew it was coming. But we're gonna be going green this time by. Pace car's in. Here we go. The launch by Divine, and they're off.
Another good jump by the inside line. It's going to be Divine of the 97 car. He's going to get a lot of speed quick, but outside line, they're sorting it back together, and they're going to see what they can do as Farmer takes it high.
And inside line really getting a good run. As Baldenston and Da Silva, they're working together to get that inside line moving. Inside line really getting a solid run going. They got the car advantage. Outside line starting to bunch up a little bit, but they're tightening up a little bit, so they're going to start to get a good run here, I think, this lap. Oh, and we're wrecking in the back. The Tide car's backwards. That's going to be Jonah Epsey. Many vehicles off in the grass. Tanner Griffin's in the grass again. Van Oostendorp was as well. And that's our 5th caution of the night. Boy, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin's going to get a drink right now, and he's in for a treat when he gets back. So we are under our 5th caution of the night. We're going to go back and take a look at that one. I'm not really too sure where that one happened. We're going to go to the far chase here. I think I see where it happens. It's going to be right near Travis Oostendorp. He's got a lot of speed going out of turn 4. Not too sure what was going on up there with the number 5. Tanner Griffin kind of seemed like he was losing speed a little bit, or just letting off a little heavy on that outside line. Kind of a bad combination there. You know, him slowing down and the high speed of Oostendorp with the push behind him. He tried to go down low, and it just didn't work out. Ran out of real estate. It's going to result in them both going through the grass. But overall, I mean, just from what I saw, it didn't look like... We'll watch it back a little bit there. We also need to be watching the 95, I think, got the worst end of that. Jonah Epsey, he went sideways there, but I mean, he didn't look like he hit the wall too hard. It seemed like everybody else that got involved didn't get into too much trouble and damage. So, I mean, all things considered, most of the guys involved seemed to get off scotch-free, and a good opportunity for most of those drivers out there that, you know, didn't take their pit last time by. Really, really good position for them to be able to take their pits out here and get a fresher car than all the other guys who just took their pit just a few moments ago. Currently, I'm reading Epsey going in, Mosley. I'm seeing Norris. I'm seeing Oostendorp. I'm seeing Manuel Farmer. Yep, they're all on their way out right now as we speak. It's going to be Baldenston leading them off out here when they go green. No surprise there. In 9th gear zone, Nick Donati, sorry, going to be leading the outside line. Kevin, welcome back. We just had our 5th caution of the night out here. I'll run you back and show you one more time out here so you can get caught up on what happened. We'll take a look out here, and it was right back near Epsey, I believe. Van Oostendorp, that's where it happened.
Big one?
Decent size, nothing crazy. Most of the guys involved kept it off the wall. Only one that really got the ass into that one was Jonah Epsey. He went backwards, but he really didn't hit the wall that hard per se. Kind of ran out of real estate kind of thing happened, but the guys that were involved really... I mean, he lightly tapped the wall with his left rear bumper, so I mean, he got the worst end of that. So I mean, all things considered, it just kind of seemed like it was a little bit of a spin out there between everybody's, but everyone held everything together, and they all seemed to be okay. But most of those guys out there that, you know, didn't take their pit that last time by, I saw most of them go in out here, so a good opportunity for them to get their cars fresh, as now they have the freshest cars on the track.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate because, as we know, Jonah Epsey's one of those guys that can't really afford to give up more fast repairs. He had some troubles early on in the race, and I don't even know if he has any left, so definitely something to pay attention to.
I mean, just looking at the back end of his car doesn't look damaged, even if he didn't take his pit. So, I mean, all things considered, his car looks good for where he's at right now.
That's good.
Surprise there as Baldenston and Silva leading off the inside and the outside line again. It'll be the 3rd time they've done that out here off a restart, Kevin.
Yeah, and you know, those color coordinated cars up there looking great.
Off this restart, Kevin, I think we'll watch the onboard of 9th gear zone Nick Donati out here. He's currently riding, I believe, P4. He's going to be behind the Silva on the inside line. Or sorry, it's Baldenston. pacing around out here quite a bit. 30, we're gonna be on lap, what is it, 33. We go green out here, Kevin. We've seen quite a bit of pacing, and what minor bit of racing we've seen out here, Kevin. It's been hectic out here. All racing like it's the last lap. Very exciting racing. Pace car is going to be going green out here, and we're going to be going green once again out here. We're going to be watching the onboard 9th gear zone Nick Donati out here. There's the jump by the 2 in the front.
Yeah, maybe got a Kobe Bryant car in front of him, but a good launch for that inside line once again, Luke. I mean, all night it seems like it's been dominating.
How about the outside line? They're starting to get some room. 48 makes the pass.
Ooh.
A couple cars going up. Shuffling around a lot up there is the number 89.
I think that's the 09 of Zola.
Yeah, sorry.
He's, uh-oh.
Donati's caught up to the inside pack. How about Zola? He's got a good run up there. He's got some room. He's got his choice of the line. He's gonna elect to drop down low. Maybe not. Yep, he drops down low. Number 48, Michael Walls. Baldenston and Silva behind them. Inside line's got the good run going right now, but there's the transfer by Oswaldenston and De Silva. They've both ran to the high line and a little bit of a block.
Oh, and teammates.
Teammates wrecking. Oh, and we're wrecking hard. Damn. Is Baldenston and De Silva wrecking hard on lap 34. And not what you want to see out here, Kevin. The teammates getting into it out here on lap 35.
Yeah.
And we're going to go back here and we're going to watch the, behind David De Silva here. Happens going right into turn 3.
Yeah, it almost looked like the 09 of, what is that, Mazzola? Is that his name? Cazzola. It almost looked like Gabe Cazzola was like throwing like a block on that high line. I don't know if you want to go back and look at it one more time, but he ran him damn near up to the wall.
Yeah, and we'll watch the onboard of Noah Oswaldenston here.
Yeah, it looked like Oswaldenston tried to go up to the second line and had the run, and the 09 just not having any of it.
I'm surprised he even let off there. I honestly would have just drove right through him, I'll be honest. He went up for that block.
Yeah.
But
definitely not necessary.
No, definitely not this I guess this early on. That's going to cause Oswaldenston and De Silva to wreck very early on. Well, not that early on, but you get what I'm saying out here. Unfortunate for the teammates here. One got stuffed up and had to check up and let off. 25, I guess, just did not get the message. Causes them and many others to wreck. Jonah Epsy is one of them, and not what you want to see for him. He really needed to avoid anything that happens out here for almost the rest of the race. He's likely going to come off of that one with some damage. But as we jump back live here again, Travis Farmer leaving the pits as Baldenston is not reading anywhere on the track. Not too sure what's going on there. Seeing Epsy and as Baldenston and De Silva are not reading on the track right now, Kevin.
Uh-oh.
Not too sure what's going on there, Kevin. I don't know if that's
Luke, they believe it or not, have both left their VC.
And I have just received word that they have been removed from the session.
They were removed?
They were removed from the game session.
Interesting.
Not too sure the reasoning on why. We're not going to comment on it much. But it's going to be ninth gear zone Nick Donati leading us off here this time by Kevin. On our 6th caution of the night. Ill intent. Ill intent is what we're getting on here. We're getting, I believe.
Huh. Well, I can do some investigating if you want.
Yeah, by all means.
See what the
By all means. Kevin goes to figure out maybe what happened out there. They're going to be going green, I believe, this time by. It's going to be lap 38 of 80. We're approaching the halfway mark. We've seen quite a lot of pacing and not the most amount of racing, but it's been intense from what we've seen. Boy, the sun is starting to set out here at Daytona, and that's going to be quite a glare for some of these drivers coming out of turn 4. And it's going to be the command of Nick Donati, 9th gear zone, as the pace car is in, and we're going to be going green. And this time by, green flag is in the air, and it is waving. The light is lit, and we are going. Nick Donati has got the nice jump there on the inside line, and he's got the lead going into turn 1. And they're already 3 wide back behind him. Bumping around a little bit. They sort things out, they get things back together. Donati's leading the inside line. The inside line's starting to file up and get numbers. Outside line's starting to kind of get a little bit of numbers together. It's going to be about even here going into this. Up a little bit. They're 3 wide, and someone got turned, and they're wrecking hard again.
Ooh.
Out here. That's going to be, was that Dalton Bernice? And Gabe Pizzola was involved in that one. And we are yellow once again out here, Kevin. That's our 7th caution of the night. We're going to have to watch that one back. Watch Gabe Pizzola, because I know he was involved in that one. See the 85 going up high, and watch that back in slow-mo. I believe that happens right up around the number 9 of Travis Farmer. Sorry, that's around the number 77 of Ty Mosley. He goes to the inside line there. The number 85 is holding up high. I think that might be a case of netcode there, Kevin. I'll be honest. I don't think they were really that close to each other, and it just kind of looked like they got sucked into each other there. Not too sure what happened there.
Yeah, and it looked like Cazzola really caught the short end of that one. I mean, he was just holding his own on the inside and ended up making like a helicopter and crashing.
And he really did get the short end of that stick there. Completely backwards. I believe he's going to likely go into the pits out here and get things sorted out. But as we go back live out here, it's going to be Nick Donati out here once again. He's going to be leading us off out here. And I believe we're going to be going green on lap 42 or 43. I'm seeing Van Oezendorp going
The
into
halfway
the
point
pits.
though, Luke, and we're about 7 cautions deep here. It's been about one every like 4 or 6-ish laps, maybe. I don't know, not very good at math. I think around 6-ish laps, but what do you think? What's your opinion on how this race has gone so far in this first half of it?
I mean, so far from what we've seen, they've been racing like it's the back half of the race already in just the first half. So, I mean, if this is what half one of this race looks like, I can only imagine how more intense it's going to get here in the backstretch. I mean, I don't think they're going to let off the gas speed much out here, but if they keep this up out here, I mean, the driver field is just going to start to thin out here just due to lack of fast repairs and, you know,
I gotta agree.
vehicles still standing. I mean, the amount of wrecks we've seen out here, we've seen 7 cautions so far, only 40 laps in. I mean, we've seen quite a few drivers involved in most of these wrecks. These haven't been any real small incidents. Definitely some fast repairs used in most of these incidents. So, the fast repair numbers got to be dwindling for most of these drivers.
Yeah, and look, I gotta agree. I mean, we've seen a lot of big wrecks, and we've seen a lot of familiar names that were wrecking. So you gotta imagine some of these guys are just hanging on with no fast repairs left out here.
And, you know, it's not the position you want to be sitting in, especially only halfway through the race out here. Especially if the rate things have been going out here, Kevin. I mean, we said it's been very, very intense throughout the first half of this race. Sitting with no fast repairs around this time of the races really puts you in a very, very scary spot. You got to kind of really ride this one really safe if you want a position to make it to the back end of this race. But it'll be Nick Donati leading us off out here on the inside line, and Craig Moore leading on the outside line. Tanner Griffin on the second row on the outside line, and number 97 of Brandon Devine leading on the inside line of row 2. You know, in a wide stretch field of safety ratings out here, Kevin, we'll go ahead and pull those up here real quick. A wide stretch of safety ratings out here for most of the drivers out here. We have a good mix. We got a couple drivers, B class, A class, B class. I'm not seeing oddly enough, I'm seeing A, B, and D. I'm not seeing a single C class driver in this entire lobby. It's just A, B, and D. So a good range of drivers out here. Safety ratings, I ratings, all very spread out as well. But definitely a good mix of drivers out here, so we're definitely in for a treat here when we go green this time by for the 8th time of the evening. Going out of turn 4. We're going to be going green this time by. Pace car is going to go in. Nick Donati is going to have the jump. Pace car is in, and Nick Donati is going to have the jump out here on the inside line. There's the restart. Flags waving, and we are green out here once again at Daytona with the Burnt Rubber Racing Series. Inside line's got a good jump. Tanner Griffin on the outside.
Yeah, and those front three are taking it away.
And no, we don't really have any communication with the owner right now of the league. He's in the race, so not really too sure what happened with that. Can't really comment on that one too much. I would say just we message the league owner after the race is over and figure out what happened there. That's really all I can say on that subject. But Nick Donati, McRae Moore, and Brandon Devine getting a good run right now. They got a lot of separation from the guys behind them. They've got some good speed, as the guys behind them are really stuffing up, running too wide out here.
And they've pushed up almost 2 seconds of separation, and they're still gaining. Maybe some of these guys have some damage in the back. As you can see back there, they're getting a little stuffed up. Running too wide right now, but you'd imagine with the amount of cars they'd have. They've got about 2.4 seconds, Luke, and they're opening this one up.
We're seeing some pit. Oh, wait, no, we're not. We're seeing a wreck happen right now between Tanner Griffin and I believe
looks like
Ty
Tanner
Mosley.
Griffin's back there,
Ty
and
Mosley
Ty
as well
Mosley.
was involved, I believe.
I think that's
a lot of vehicles involved in that one. And that's going to be our 8th caution of the night. We're going to have to go back and watch that one. I don't really know what happened there. I think that happens right around Tanner Griffin, so we'll see right here. Oh, Tanner Griffin kind of gets up into the number 17 of, I believe that's, what's that? Really cannot tell who that is. I don't know why my thing's being, oh, that's going to be Fidel Fabian. He gets kind of up into the right rear quarter panel of Fidel Fabian. That's going to cause them to wreck out here. It's going to be our 8th caution of the night. I mean, he's already spinning loose there, and there's nothing really Fidel Fabian can do there. He was just trying to save his car from sliding out there. It comes back down on the inside.
Tanner Griffin, or?
Fortunate. Yeah, Tanner Griffin was on that inside. He came down and got into Tanner Griffin. Unfortunate there. Yeah, fellas, we'll see what we can. We'll talk to the owners, so we'll figure out what the reasoning and stuff for it was, and try to sort some stuff out and see what happened regarding the kicks from the Discord and all that stuff. We'll see what happened, but going back live here, it's lap 45. Drivers are still in the pits. A lot of drivers in the pits, actually. Only 5 on the track right now. Norris just now leaving the pits. We're seeing a good number of pits out here, Kevin. You got any clue what the fuel window looks like for us out here?
It's about 30 laps, so I think we saw a decent bit around 25, so you know, they don't have to pay here, but might as well because they can only get about 10 more laps if they weren't to, so no surprise that we're seeing a lot of pits out here. Now, the whole 25 thing is not to say everyone pit there. Some people pit later, some people pit earlier. But we do know the window's around 30 laps, so I don't know if you can see when the last point our leader's pit was. Yeah, 26, 25. Now, I will say though that window's probably opened up a little bit because they've been able to save some fuel because there has been a decent chunk of pacing from lap 25, 26 to now, so I'd say they've probably got about 15 more laps on their tanks.
I mean, we don't really have any way to view their actual current fuel capacity right now, what they're running fuel-wise, so it's kind of a mystery to us to what their fuel is looking like right now, and it's going to really make it interesting out here to see what's working out here. I mean, you know, some of the guys that just took their pits now, I mean, they they got to be getting close to that fuel window. I mean, it's really going to make for an interesting race out here, and as we approach the backstage of this race. You know, Kevin, we've seen a lot of pacing and maybe not the biggest number of laps raced out here, but from what I mean, the laps we've seen out here have been quite intense, and it's been quite a show out here so far. Quite a bit of cautions out here, but it's been very, very exciting.
Oh, absolutely, no doubt. And as you can see, the number of cars out here that are on the lead lap and still in good shape is, getting lower and lower every caution we see. It seems right now we've got about 5 cars that, aren't out there right now pacing around with the rest of the group, so definitely going to be interesting to see how that starts to play a part. I think the guys up front, Donati, Moore, Farmer, Van Oostendorp, I think they're in the best position because it seems the front has avoided most of these wrecks, but anything can happen.
And no doubt there, Kevin, and I believe they're going to be going green this time by. It's going to be lap 47 when they go green. And I think Donati's going to have the restart out here once again.
Yeah, it's been a good race for him. Good race for Moore's been up there a lot too. We've seen a good race from a lot of the guys up front right now, but pace car's in, and let's see whose success can continue out here as we've got about 34 laps left to go. If I'm not retarded and my math is correct.
And lap 47 of 80 out here. Nick Donati with a good jump on the restart. But how about McCray Mori? He's got a good shot going on the outside line and a really hard bump from the 47 of Van Oostendorp. Going through the turns.
They're back to racing, Luke.
Oh, yeah, they are. And they're sorting things back out. Inside line is losing vehicles here, but going into the turn, they got a few guys dropping down. They're about even up there through the front. They got 3 lines all working pretty well. 3 rows working pretty well so far. Yeah, we are back to racing, Kevin. Bumping and pushing here early, no surprise there. Stuffing up a little bit there on the second row. You know, I will say, Kevin, these next-gen cars do shuffle around quite a bit when you draft these things, so these vehicles not the easiest to draft with in general, but the guys would still making it work here for the most part. Sorting things out here. Seems like the inside line has got quite the numbers right now, but Nick Donati making it work on the outside line all alone. Nope, he's got someone with him. That's going to use the work. Someone pushes there on the outside line. They're electing to run it a little high. Hopefully give them a good bit of speed here going into the back straightaway.
Oh, and they're
A little bit of an
really
awkward push
out.
there. They're 3 wide
The
up there
leaders
for the
are
lead.
3
They're
wide,
4 wide up for the
wide.
lead. Nick Donati gets
what
bumped
a
around a little bit. And
boneheaded
Devine
move.
comes down into him, and he's down in the infield. And holy shit, we were 4 wide in the back straightaway of Daytona there for a moment. We're going to have to go back and watch that one, Kevin. Like I said, I mean, they're racing on here like it's the last lap, and it's only lap 49.
Sorry, that didn't seem like a smart move to me.
You know, it's hard for me to disagree with you, Kevin. We'll go back and watch how that all started, maybe see what led up to that before we make any official judgments here. So we're going to be watching the number 97 of Brandon Devine here. He's rocking all the way back in, what is that, P6 right now? Going into the back straightaway. He's got a good bit of draft going, and he's going to catch up here pretty well. Ooh, yeah, they shuffle around a little bit in front of him. They're 3 wide. He elects to make it 4 wide there, and just, you know, Kevin, I got to agree. That's just not a smart move there. That's,
The room was there
it just, the
for
gap
a
closed very
split second.
fast.
It closed very fast, and it doesn't seem like he kept it that straight. To be honest with you, it kind of looked like he came in a little left on it. Obviously I could be wrong, but um, nonetheless he pays the price, and that's gonna be caution number, is it 10?
I
Maybe
believe it's 9, I think.
caution number 9.
Yeah, we see it right here. The gap is there right about now. He goes for it. The 47, I don't think really knew, and the 97 just kept cutting down, ran into Donati. Definitely ran out of real estate there, but it seems as though he was really the only one that slid out. It seems like everyone else kind of held it together there for the most part.
Yeah, one can only hope that the 69 car of Moore didn't get some nose damage from that. He got a little bit on it, but I don't think anything too severe.
Yeah, regardless, maybe not the smartest move there, the number 97, but his vehicle seems to be all right. He's leaving the pits. And yeah, it's going to be our 9th caution of the night out here. Gray Moore currently leading. We go green out here. Donati, despite being involved in that one, he's going to be bumped back to 5th place. He's still in a decent position.
How about Mosley? At one point down 3 laps, and he's currently running P4 out here.
And I can't lie to you, Kevin. He just jumped back to P8, and I'm not getting a read on him.
Uh-oh.
And not too sure.
Maybe some internet issues for,
Oh, wait a minute, there he is. He's back. He's in P4. A little bit of blanking, I think. Had me worried there for a minute. He's back in P4, but yeah, he was down 3 laps here near the beginning of this race. He's made his way all the way back up to P4. What a good on for him for making his way all the way back up. Okay, with the amount of cautions we've seen out here tonight, it's really no surprise he's had all the room to make it up here. I mean, he's had more than enough pacing laps out here to make it up with the Lucky Dog painted it, so I believe that's going to leave us with about 12 drivers. Yeah. 12 drivers still out here driving right now. Gabe Cazzola is still in the pits. We'll see if he makes his way back out before we go green, but currently 12 drivers on the track right now. The field has thinned out a little bit since we started out here, Kevin. But it's been some very, very hectic driving out here early. Pretty much all throughout the race. I don't know why I keep trying to say early on. It's been throughout the entire race. Driving like it's the last lap throughout the whole race. It's been a very, very exciting one to watch, that's for sure. We've been pacing around out here for our 9th caution of the night out here. They're going to be going green this time by. Gabe Cazzola's still reading in the pits. Not sure if he'll be making his way out in time for that one. But only time will tell. Going through turns 3 and 4. It's going to be McCray Moore and Nathan Manuel leading the respective lines out here off the restart. It's going to be interesting to see what they do off the jump. race car is going to be making its way in this time by. They're tightening up here. They're going to be getting ready to go green this time by.
Yeah, and here they go. Look, good jump for the inside line again. Very spaced out restart, but Manucci and or Manuel, sorry, and Moore just gonna maintain the 1-2.
Outside line's got the numbers right now going through turns 1 and 2. Ty Mosley, I think, is having some internet issues. I'm not too sure what's going on. He's reading back between. He's not reading on the track right now. I'm not too sure what's going on there. I only hope that that's more of an our end internet issue than a him issue, but regardless, the inside line's getting a great run right now.
Seems to be the only line right now in the front.
That outside line is almost non-existent. They're singling down to single file wide most of the way through right now. About 2 cars remaining on the outside line right now. Nathan Manuel currently leading this right now. Nick Donati looking to make that second line happen, and he's got numbers looking behind him. He's got 3 extra drivers starting to catch up to him. Right now he's only got the one of Travis Van Support behind him, pushing him up. Not a bad spot. They're riding in P3 and 4 right now. Getting some good drafting work on the outside line. And number 3,
and here comes
Manuel's
another.
Up with them. They're going to be 3
3
wide.
wide.
And Uzendorp's going to make that transfer, I believe. They're still 3 wide all the way through. The number 95 is holding that sandwich line. Nick Donati's on the high line, and the number 95 gets a little high. Hold it together, 95. Still 3 wide. They're bumping up in front of them, and holy shit. Holy shit, they're 3 wide. They're going through the back straightaway. They're 3 all the way. They're 3 wide all the way through.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, those sweet mama. I can feel
it. Oh,
and
a huge run for Donati, though.
Oh, yeah, he's made his way up there. Oh, my God. I mean, this is terrifying to watch. 3 wide going through the back straightaway.
We're seeing some drag
there it is
races
again.
out here, Luke.
There it is, 3 wide again. Oh, and 86 gets up to the wall there a little bit.
Oh,
they're bumping up in the front.
In the wall. They hold it somehow, some way, by nothing short of a miracle.
Oh no!
no.
There he goes! Divided to the wall! Oh, man, and oh, fuck. Come on. Oh, there he goes again. Brandon Devine. Oh, no, and he gets back to P11.
Ooh.
Oh, that's going to be a rough one for him. We're going to have to go back and watch that one. And you know, Kevin, I could have told you that was going to happen. I mean,
yeah.
we read it happening a lap and a half before. That was... We saw that one coming a mile away.
Man, they were racing, though.
They really were. I mean...
If you told me that was the last lap with $1 million on the line, I would have believed it.
And it seems like they just couldn't really pick a line there and really stuff up. And Tanner Griffin, unfortunately, getting kind of spun there. Unfortunate there for the drivers involved. That was a wild one, Kevin. Go back and just watch another angle of that one, and it looks like Devine going to the pits there. Not too sure if he's taking a tow or if that's the race over for him. We'll have to wait for the replay to be over to determine that one. You know, maybe we watch the replay. I don't know where to watch for that one. We'll just watch the chopper and we'll watch this. So just a little bit of a quarter. I mean, Tanner bumped the 69 there a little bit, gave him a little bit of speed into the 97. I mean, just an awkward push there, it seems. Tanner Griffin and Devine getting the worst of that one, unfortunately. As we jump back live here, I believe that's... Yeah, I'm not getting a read on Devine anymore. I believe that's probably going to do it for him out here. And we're seeing Pizzola back out on the track. I cannot believe it. He is 16 laps down, Kevin. But he's back in this thing. And I think they're letting him make up laps, as he is moving.
Yeah, and maybe the lucky dog. Who actually knows out here at this point?
Ty Mosley
He's
2
down
laps down. Oh no.
down a decent chunk of laps, no doubt about that.
Oh yeah. Yep, it seems like Ty Mosley is going to get the lucky dog out here. I think they might just be letting Fazola make up his 16 laps. That's going to take us to double-digit cautions out here tonight, Kevin. We've seen a lot of pacing, but the racing we've seen has been very, very intense. Very, very crazy driving. I mean, I'm having a blast watching it so far.
Yeah, absolutely, and Van Oostendorp taking that little bus stop route once again that we've seen him do, I think, every single caution.
I believe so, and I think he's about got that down to a science. We'll be going green next time by. It's going to leave us with 21 laps to go when we go green. We're approaching the back half of this race, Kevin. It's going to be an exciting one out here, just from what we've seen so far. I can only imagine. I don't imagine they're going to slow down at all out here.
No, I really doubt they would slow down at this point, Luke, and I personally hope we see something like we did last run up towards the front. I mean, those guys, it wasn't much about the draft. It seemed it was more a few separate three wide drag races down the straight,
Yeah.
so.
I definitely got a feeling we're in for an exciting finish out here. It's going to be a wild one, Kevin. I think we're in for a good one. A little bit of fuel saving there for some of the guys up in the front. Not really surprised there, I'll be honest. They're going through the back straightaway.
And Luke, when did we see the last pit from some of these leaders?
50, 50, 43, and 57, it seems, back through 7th place.
Yeah, and we said the window's about 30, so any fuel that can be saved from the guys that are running 50 is definitely going to be crucial.
I have to agree with you, Kevin. It's going to be a wild end to a race out here. Kevin, I believe we only got about 10 drivers out here still driving out here. It's a good number of the drivers out here either out due to caution-related incidents. It's definitely thinned out most of the drivers out here, so not many left standing. Pace car is in, and we're going to be going green out here after our 10th caution of the night. It's going to be Van Oostendorp and Fabian on the inside line. Donati with a bit of a slow start there on the outside line. The sideline seems to be the one running out here.
And they're back to single file off the restart, and we have 21 to go, but uh-oh. It's starting.
It's starting already. Getting a little squirrely there through the back straightaway. But it seems like it gets held on together out here. They're single file most of the way through out here, Kevin. Just to look back through a bit of the field, yeah, they're single file all the way through. Tanner Griffin seeming to lose pace of the rest of the guys out here. And there's a driver behind him. Who is that out there? Oh, sorry. Not 10 drivers. Counted 11. Cazzola's still out there. He's 16 laps down. I don't think he'll be making up very much positions here. But he can at least maybe help out Tanner Griffin make his way back up to the rest of the fellas. He's all running single file wide. It's going to be hard to catch them because they got a lot of speed going from the back straightaway. Oh! And a car on below the yellow out there.
Keep it down.
Out. I believe that's Jonah Epsey. He holds it together. And he rejoins the track. That's going to thin out the drivers even more. Only 4 drivers still running up there near the front right now. Maybe Usendorf, Fabian, Farmer, and Donati right now running in your top 4. 19 laps to go out here, Kevin. We're getting to the last quarter of this race. It's going to be an interesting one out here. I mean, we've seen crazy intense racing throughout the entire race. I mean, I can only imagine what these last handful of laps are going to bring.
Oh, absolutely. And with them running single file right now, it almost feels like the calm before the storm out here, Luke.
And I'd have to agree with you, Kevin. Just from what we've seen out here so far, I mean, they've raced about every lap like it's the last. There's that second line being created by Donati right now. He's getting a good run going. He's got the number 3 of Nathan Manuel behind him. He's got a couple cars going up high with him, the 17 and the 47. Seems like most of the guys go up high with him, except for 1 or 2 getting a little squirrely up in front of him. They're still single file most of the way through out there from the front. Currently looking at 1st through 6th place up there right now in that front bunch. Well, welcome back, Jay. It's been some exciting racing out here so far. It's a wild one out here. They've been racing very, very intense out here for the majority of the race. I mean, I don't see it's going to slow down much at all. Only 6 still in that front bunch. Behind him is going to be Landon Norris and Jonah Epsey. I believe Brunis is running behind them a little bit, but he's off pace. Most of them are probably going to fall off there. Manuel is up on that high line. This fade. I'll have to go back to the back of that. He's going to attempt to retain the draft there. I appreciate the kind words, Jay. Always good to have you in the stream, man. Just 17 laps to go out here, Kevin. They're still all running single file wide. One thing I got to imagine, these guys have all done their jobs, keeping their cars clean, keeping them preserved enough to where they'll be able to, you know, get to the end of this race out here. Maybe they got 1 fast repair left. Maybe they got none. So, I mean, they're really looking to preserve their cars out here for these last 15 laps to go. 16, sorry. Definitely a lot of pacing, to say the least, out here, but there's that second line, and they're starting to chug along out here. They got the exact same amount of cars to the inside line. It's 3 and 3 out here. That's going to give a little bit of opportunity for the guys behind them, Landon Norris and Jonah Epsey, to maybe make up some time out here, but they're a decent bit off. They're about 4 seconds, approaching 4 seconds off. Sideline starting to get a good run here. They're clear by a car. Is he going to make the transfer? Yes, he is. Ray Moore, he's going to make the transfer down to the inside line. That's going to leave only 2 vehicles on that outside line. Noddy making his way up on that inside line. Starting to kind of get separated there on the inside from Ray Moore and Van Usendorf. They're starting to get a good bit of spacing here between Fabian, Farmer, and the rest of the guys. Guys behind them are going to have to tighten things up if they want to catch up here. But still about 14 laps to go as they cross the start-finish here.
Yeah, and yeah, as I was about to say, I feel like the second line should close back in single file if they want to catch up speed. And it seems that's
Oh
exactly
boy.
what they did. And here comes the push.
Fabian and Donati, they're making a good run on that outside line. Van Oostendorf's going to join them up there, and they're going to make a transfer around. Oh, they're approaching some lap traffic. That's going to be, I believe, Cazzola is going to hold the inside line, and they're going to make their pass around. Three of them are clear. The rest are going to start to make their way around. Number 3 gets a bit squirrely, and the number 3 turns Cazzola. And Cazzola goes hard into the wall. That's our 11th caution of the night. And we kind of saw that one happen, and that's going to really shake up the race out here for those front runners. You know, just watching back out here, you see Gabe Cazzola holding the inside line here. They're all passing on the outside. The 3 gets a little squirrely and just kind of comes down into the inside line a little bit. That's what I have to say here. Yeah, they both kind of come down into each other's lines a little bit. I don't think that they really should have made it 3 wide for the pass there, but regardless, that's going to lead to an incident between the two of them. Unfortunate there. Gabe Cazzola, I mean, he's already down many laps. Doesn't really matter that much to him, but definitely unfortunate for Nathan Manuel. But we're going to go ahead and jump back up to the lead out here and look at Van Oostendorf. He's making his run out there on the little out track there on the back straightaway. Just looking at when these guys last pit, lap 50 for Van Oostendorf, 43 for Fabian. Donati pit lap 50. So most of these guys all pit around the same time. Manuel got involved in that back there, but he still remains in 6th place. So, you know, I don't think he really lost any positions there, to be honest. Yeah, David, like I said, we don't really run the league itself. We just broadcast it, so we can't really speak for the league and on itself. I'm not really too sure. I didn't have voice chat or anything on like that for the race, so I didn't hear what happened. I haven't even heard word from anybody yet on what happened, so I'm assuming we'll receive word from the league owner after the race. I would say just reach out to him via messages, ask him about the situation if you want to try to get back in and work things out. That's really all I can say. We can't really, like I said, speak for the league much. We just broadcast it, so. Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah, like I said, that's going to really shake things up here for the front 6 who are running. They were all running kind of separate, but a little bit of a sigh of relief out here for Landon Norris and Brunis. He went into the pits, it looks like, but he's made his way back out. So a little bit of a sigh of relief for them being able to stay up here. And Ty Mosley, unfortunately, falling 5 laps down now, Kevin.
Yeah, and you got to start wondering. Obviously, it doesn't play a huge part out here because it's a drafting track, but we see a lot of cars on a lot of different tire strategies. Some of these guys have pit, just around a couple laps ago. Some of these guys have pit about 10 laps ago. The leaders seem to have pit about 20 laps ago, though, so, is it going to make enough of a difference out here on tires that it's going to be noticed and it's going to benefit the guys on the fresher tires? Would you want to come in and get some tires. I mean, it's all sorts of different strategies out here, and I think we're going to find out which one's working on this last stretch of about probably 8 laps once we go green.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one out here. And just to answer your question, David, I would the owner of the league's Discord name, his username is Griffin Race Paints. So GriffinRacePaints. That's his Discord username. I would say add him on Discord or send him a message and see if you can get that thing sorted out. But that's going to take us to, I believe, going green with 9 to go out here, Kevin. We have plenty of green-white checkers, I would like to point out here. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, Jay. I believe looking out here, we have... What does it say? You know, I'm not seeing a number on green-white checkers out here, but in the previous session we saw it was quite a bit. Hey, Kevin, do you think you could put in the chat?
I got it.
All right, perfect. There you go. That's the guy's username right there. So hopefully you can get that figured out.
No problem. 21 car Fabian's up here running in the lead now, Luca, and he led a lot of laps earlier in the race. I don't know if we've been saying his name as much on his back half. It seems like Van Oostendorp has been leading a lot on this half, but Donati and Moore on the second row, they've been running that, area of position for a while now as well.
And I mean, I can't lie. I think I saw Nick Donati kind of bumping around and working with Van Oostendorp and Fabian a good considerable bit here throughout this race. So, I mean, wouldn't be surprised if they're going to be looking to work together here throughout the rest of this one. And there's the start from Van Oostendorp. He's going to get a good launch on the inside line. And holy shit, Ty Mosley shoots around the lead pack. And he's going to be only 2 laps down. Holy hell. And just looking here, I'll take a look here and see if it is fixed setups. Setups are identical to Daytona 11 Oval, is what it says. So not really too sure what that means, I'll be completely honest, but...
Pretty confident that's fixed.
Yeah, so I would say fixed. I mean, yeah, that was a clean-ass pass by Mosley. He shot right around him. And, quite impressive, really, but that jump only got him so far, as they're starting to catch him pretty quickly now.
Check on that for you, David.
They're coming up on Ty Mosley now. He's a lap down. He's going to elect to just run it high, blinking a considerable bit, hoping he stays out of there. And, ooh, they're bumping around a little bit. Car gets turned in front. Ooh, they're all bumping around back there. A lot of drivers involved. That's our 12th caution. Donati is involved, but he retains and holds on to 5th place. Fidel Fabian's involved, though. He's back and spinning. Oh, no, and unfortunate for Fabian. We're going to have to go back and watch that one. We didn't really get the best angle there. But going back out here, it seems like they kind of got a little bunched up there trying to pass the lap car. We'll have to go back here and take a look. So you see them approaching Ty Mosley. He's a lap down on the high line here. Starts to blink. They've all made the pass pretty clear. Bit of an awkward, a bit of an accordion bump there on the inside line, I think. Go back and watch that one more time in slow motion to take a look at that one, really. Dive in on that one. I believe it happens right about here, going out of the exit. So 17 of Fabian's going to get up there and get close to a bump. Donati's kind of a little high, gets a bit of a corner bump there. He gets bumped by the 96 behind him, kind of forces him to that middle line. Gets pushed again by the 96, then that forces him into the 17, which results in the hook of the number 9. You see Donati try to dive down to the inside line, gets a good little bump there from the number 9, but holds onto it fairly well. But unfortunate there for most of the drivers there involved in that one. Not what you want to see there for Fidel Fabian. But he's entered pit road, And I believe he's getting things worked on right now, so he's working on hopefully getting that vehicle fixed and getting back out there. But how about Nick Donati? He held on to 3rd place out there, Kevin, despite being involved in all that. Yep, here he comes. He's going to come into the pits. I'm not really surprised there.
Yeah, and that was definitely poorly timed because, now we got a lot of guys coming in here. I don't know how many of them have that fast repair, Luke, to be honest with you.
Oh, seems like a little bit of mispit there from Nick Donati. But regardless, he's going to be sitting right about 6th, 7th, 8th place, somewhere in that range. A little bit off of the leaders, but he's going to have a fresh vehicle. So he's going to definitely have the vehicle advantage here with, I believe, there's going to be 5 to go here, and he's going to be leading out. He's going to be in P6 here when we go green. And it's going to be, I believe, 4 to go when we go green out here, Kevin. So not a terrible spot for Nick Donati. He's going to have a fresh vehicle here. But
Yeah,
some of the other drivers, let's take a look at what
the other guys
was. Lap 50, 56, 69, 70, and 73. So, seems like Bernius is going to have a decent one out here. And no, that's not going to be considered a green-white checkered. I believe it's going to be I think it's going to be.
How many do we have?
Now, if we're talking, I think I can check out here on iRacing. Bear with me 1 moment. Oh my lord. 15, if we need it. So,
get your popcorn.
Get your popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. We have plenty of green-white checkers out here. I don't believe this is going to be one of them. Sorry, Nick Donati is going to be in 5th place when we start this one, I believe. They're going to be going green this time by. Not going to be a green-white checkered out here. Be our 12th caution of the night. Van Oosendorf's going to have the lead on the inside line. Bray Moore's going to have the lead on the outside line. A lot of the same drivers up here near the front, Kevin. A little bit of bumping going on here. Under caution, seems like Manual and FC bumping a little bit there. Not too sure. Maybe that's a little bit of fuel saving as Manual pit on lap 70. Oh my god! Mosley screaming around the rest of the pack, doing a little Chastain wall rub action. He's back on the lead lap, Kevin. He's got a shot in this one again. Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't know what his deal has been all race. As maybe just strictly internet issues?
I don't know. Regardless, he's got a shot in this one.
Seems like he's going down laps without anybody exactly knowing how.
And yep, you see him bugging out a little bit there. And, as he bugged out there, take a look at that beautiful track of Daytona out here at night, Kevin. Oh. He's back. But I do really want to get back to that view, because that is beautiful. Daytona under these beautiful lights out here. Yeah, Mosley does have quite the approach out here. And he's going to have a bit of a slingshot start out here again, I think. we might see him get a bit of an interesting start. They're going to be going green out here. We might see an interesting start for him. They're bunching up. Pace car is going to go in. Mosley's coming through turns 3 and 4 at full speed. Pace car's in. I see him flying. Oh, he's bugging out a bit. There's the green flag. We're green out here. Where the hell's Mosley? I have no idea. And off they go. Bray Moore with a good restart on the outside line. He got around Oosendorf.
Yeah, 4 to go out here, Luke, and
there's Mosley. He's back. He's running back. P9. The DeWalt Ghost. He's been blinking in and out of existence, but he's making his run back up.
How about Denali with a great restart? He's in P2. Or Donati.
Yeah, he's opting to take that high line. He's all by himself right now. The sideline's getting quite the speed going. He's swerving around a little bit there going into the turn. Donati getting kind of stranded back there. Unfortunate for him. He's going to have to fade back in out here. Just a reminder, we have 11. Oh, and they're wrecking hard behind. Oh, boy, and that's going to take it to our 13th caution. Who is that in the middle of the track? I cannot tell. That's going to be Nathan Manuel.
It's going to be, yeah, Nate Manuel, and
we'll have to go back
not quite sure what happened there.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Hit it with the chopper view.
They all kind of get just stacked up front three, and yeah, whoever's right there in P4 didn't really get the memo. Can't really see who that is.
Now, I know the wreck was bad in on itself, but I just want to point out, Nick Donati, he got around that one. Hold on. You got to look at the cockpit view here. So this happens right in front of Nick Donati, okay? So we're going to have to watch this from his point of view. It happens right about... He starts to gain up speed here on the outside line, right when he... Yep, right about there. Swerving around the cars, barely gets around it. But he gets clear of that one. Yeah, unfortunate for Nathan Manuel, as he was heavily involved in that one. And the vehicle definitely seems to be banged up a little bit there. But I think his vehicle's still going to be driving, so he's going into the pits now. He's hopefully going to be able to finish this race. But that's going to take us to, I believe, our first green-white checkered of the night, Kevin. We have 14 more remaining, so get your popcorn and get comfortable in your seat, Kevin. This one isn't over. It's going to be Van Oezendorp on the lead on the inside line. Landon Norris on the lead on the outside line, and behind them is going to be McCrae Moore and Jonah Epsey, Nick Donati, and Fidel Fabian. You know, now it's really just going to come down to who's got fast repairs left, Kevin. It seems like it's going to start getting a little more hectic and to start bumping around a little more up here. So if we start using an extensive amount of these green-white checkers, I think it's going to come down to who has the better repair times, who has the better pit crew. Yeah, Farmer did do great getting through that. A lot of good moves by the guys to get around that wreck. And pacing around out here for the 13th time out here tonight, Kevin.
Yeah, and, you know, I think a lot of these could have been avoided, Luke. Oh, my God.
Holy shit. And Ty Mosley, back at it again. He is just...
No, that one was Tanner Griffin, I think.
Sorry, yeah, that was Tanner Griffin, but Ty Mosley, he's making his way up. And, I mean, I want to watch his POV, but I know it's gonna cut out, so we're gonna watch the cockpit view of him flying around these guys here. Hopefully, assuming it doesn't blink out.
Well, he's back on the lead lap, so I hope he doesn't fly by him this time around.
Oh, that's right. I was going to say, where the hell is Van Oezendorp, but I should have known. He's taken that line across the back straightaway that he's done every single time. Nick Donati, he's going to be in third place. He's going to be running the second row back on that inside line. He's got Fidel Fabian behind him. You know they've been bumping and working together here a considerable amount throughout the race, at least from what I've seen. So they're in a pretty good position out here. Now, we get to that white flag, Kevin, and any wrecks that happen from that point on is not going to be a yellow, to my knowledge. But regardless, we're in for some intense racing out here, I do believe. Can't lie, I thought the pace car was going to go in there, but we're going to be pacing around out here for another lap. With just a few laps to go out here left, Kevin, on our first green-white checkered of the night. Who do you got winning this thing out here, Kevin? I gotta ask.
Yeah, I don't know. I think some of these guys that pit more recently, if they did have their fast repair, which is really just a crapshoot in my opinion, I think that's gonna benefit them. But I don't know. Definitely gonna be interesting to keep up with.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely a tough one to say here. Regardless, and it's been a wild ride out here so far, Kevin. They've raced about every single lap like we're on a green-white checkered, so
Now we're about to see it on the actual first green-white checkered, so strap in because we're gonna see some very intense racing. Once the pace car comes in.
we got a number on Donati right now, it seems. You know, that's who I got. I got my money on Donati, Kevin. He's looked good all racing. I'm definitely rooting for him, that's for sure. And Usendorf taking that inside line once again. He loves that line. They're going to be going green this time by first green-white checkered of the afternoon out here tonight, Kevin. We've seen a lot of pacing, but some crazy racing from what, laps we've ran green out here. It's going to be a wild one. They are on the bumper of that pace car.
Oh yeah, and everything's got to be perfect from this point forward because this is the end of the race, Luke. I mean, there's been 80 laps, and this is what they've been gearing up towards. Not all of them have made it to the end. About 10 of them have, and I think it's gonna about be time to see what those 10 guys can do out here. Led by the 47 car of Van Oostendorp and Landon Norris on his outside. We are green for our first green-white checkered out here. Question being, can they get around to the start-finish to bring the white flag out?
The light has been lit across the start-finish. We are racing out here once again. Inside lines got the momentum right now. Remember, when they cross the finish line this time by, caution flags will not matter, so we're just looking for them to get across that checkered flag. And right now, Travis Van Utzensdorp, he's leading the inside line with Nick Donati, 9th gear zone, behind him riding in 2nd place. Fidel Fabian in 3rd, and Jonah Epsy in 4th place. They're all single file wide. They're running through. Seems to be clean all the way through. They're just looking to get across the start-finish to get that white flag in the air. We are racing, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta wonder, the move's gotta be made. They're gonna be getting close here. Across the start-finish,
Yeah.
And there it is. The white flag
White
is
flag
in the
is
air.
out. Here we go, Van Oostendorp in the lead. It's single file right now. Donati has the decision to make the move whenever he pleases. Fabian could make it too, but Epsy's on his tail hot. We're single
There's
file,
the
and
move.
here comes Donati to the top.
Oh, he
Who's
is
gonna
moving.
follow?
And he's got the support.
Looks like
He's got
all
4
of
cars
them
with
are.
him. They're leaving.
Donati to the
leaving
lead.
in the dust.
Fabian follows. Espy and his tail. We're single file once again out here with Donati in the lead. Here comes the move by Fabian.
The push from
Oh,
behind.
and a huge push by Epsy
A
into
little bit awkward
Donati.
push, but they're still moving.
It looks like they're going to stay low. And
Oh,
they're
they're
headed
gonna
into the
fan out.
tri-oval. Who's going to help who?
Oh, a bit of a door action here. It's going to be a nail-biter for the finish, but I think Jonah Epsy's going to get the win.
I think Epsy's going to take that one.
Nick Donati gets 2nd place. Jonah Epsy gets the win. McCrae Moore getting 3rd place. And what a finish. And holy shit! Travis is on his hood.
Yeah, and you got to wonder, if we could go back and look at that, Luke, how's that one going to be decided? Because, let's just go back and take a look at that last tri-oval real quick.
Yeah, here, let's see if maybe the blimp shot gets us a little better view, maybe.
I like the chopper. I just, I want to point something out real quick.
Alright.
Yeah, right there. Just start it right there. Now, the rules state no passing under the yellow.
That's 2 tires under the yellow, Kevin. That's 4 tires under the yellow, Kevin.
Yeah.
4 tires under the yellow there, and then comes up and doors Nick Donati. I don't know how that's going to play out.
Look, I'm not saying I make the rules here, Luke. I am, however, saying if I did, that's something I would look at.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you, Kevin. one hates to be biased, but I mean, technically that is a pass under the yellow. So it's going to be interesting to see how RC works that one out. We're still going to be waiting for the official word, I suppose. I don't know if that's going to go under review. But regardless, as it stands right now, Jonah Epsy is credited with the win as it stands. Regardless, an exciting fin. Oh my god. Oh lord. I gotta see what happened from Van Oostendorp's point of view at the end of that. Because he went right through the tri-oval and just had a wild wreck. Hello?
All right.
All right, this is the RC in the chat. We're going to get the official word from the RC. Tanner, how's it going?
I'm pretty good, brother. How's it going with fellas?
Oh, not bad. It was a wild end of the race.
Yes, sir. All right, so since it's still under review right now, I'm gonna get one good last look at it, and that win is invalid. That goes to the number 93.
Ninth gear, baby, Nick Donati.
It is 93.
Oh boy, and the win gets credited to Nick Donati by ruling of a illegal pass out here. We'll go back and watch that one back one more time out here from our point of view, so the viewers can see it here. So we'll go ahead and take a look over here from the chopper point of view. Tanner, feel free to comment here on your decision making here leading up to that one. So we'll watch right here as they're going through the exit of turn 4. We'll watch it in slow-mo here.
All right. Yep.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
What?
4 tires below the yellow. That's a pass under the yellow, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's gonna be the official ruling.
Came up sooner because he did get bumped. If he would have came up a little bit sooner, I would have gave it to him, but he did stay down there for quite a good bit of time. And it looked like there was no intention of coming up until last second. So that there is going to be ruled out for his win.
So how does that work for the 95 as far as position? Is he just going to lose that one position and get the P2?
Let's see what the other officials are saying.
We'll let you guys review that, but as it stands right now, the win is now credited to Nick Donati out here so far. Wow, that was an exciting end of the race out there.
That is going to be... All right, he's going to lose one position.
He's going to lose one position?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, so that's going to be Nick Donati getting the P1 finish. Jonah Epsy, unfortunately, getting the cancel out of his lead is going to give him P2 finish. Pulling up our post-race results out here. All of that is correct except for first and second. That's going to be swapped. So Jonah Epsy is going to get second. Nick Donati gets credited with the win, representing Ninth Gear Racing out here, Kevin.
Yeah, and McCrae Moore getting the 3rd place. He's going to get into the podium. He made a good run there at the end loop to give himself a shot there. It's going to be Fabian and Van Oostendorp. Running out your top 5. 6th is going to be Landon Norris. 7th is going to be Tanner Griffin. Next is going to be 8th place Dalton Bernius, Ty Mosley, and Nathan Manuel running out your top 10 tonight.
And that was a wild finish to the race out here. As we wait for the rest of the guys out here to gather for the post-race interviews.
Couple more cautions than I wanted, but
yeah, regardless, it was still a wild race. It was a fun one to watch, at least from our point of view.
For sure. The 3 bands. One possibly could come back. there was the caution of a rule. 3 cautions, you're out. One of them I think had 2, but it was word of there being ill intent involved. Someone that was in the channel that they were in. So
Gotcha. I am receiving word in our chat from one of the guys that did receive one of the bans. He said he sent you a friend request to send you, I guess, some messages about it. I believe his name was David.
That'd be De Silva.
Yeah, De Silva. So, a couple guys to look out for. But I just received word from our guy Nick. He's going to be making his way over here to the VC here in a little bit to get in for post-race interview. Do we have 3 and 2, Kevin, or do we want to start off with P1?
I'm not seeing 3 and 2. I'm gonna bring in Ty Mosley. Wants to say something.
Yeah, let's bring him in.
In the season standings.
Hey Ty, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I'm right here, man.
Hey man, I don't know if you wanted to talk to Tanner in private or if it's something you would be fine saying on the broadcast, but
No, it's fine right here. I was just saying, man, thank you for letting me get those laps back, man. 'Cause, my internet screwed me that whole race.
Hey, you were running like hell around the guys. It about scared the hell out of us in the broadcast booth a few times.
Hey, look, man, I was doing anything to get back in that, and I ended up getting the top 10, so I'm happy with that, man. I was doing anything to get back in that race.
Hey, tough to complain about that at all. I mean, still salvaging a top 10 despite being how many laps down were you at one point? Was it 3 or 4?
6.
6?
It was 6 laps.
Jeez. Okay. 6 laps down, manages to salvage a P10. I mean,
and I got
really to complain about there.
It was so funny. I got kicked from the session because a packet lost twice.
Oh no.
And after the first time, this one, the 47, just absolutely murdered me. That was crazy. But thanks for bringing me in the booth for a minute. Good race, everyone. That was fun. I'll be up there next week.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you next week. A good finish and a very entertaining to watch. Picking up some laps there at the end.
Yeah, I know, man. I thought I was gonna hit somebody.
All right.
All right, you fellas have a nice night.
Hey, you too, man.
All right, see you.
That was the number 77 car of Ty Mosley. A good finish, and when he was, making it work, he was making it work. I think in the booth right now we have Jonah Espy. Jonah, any words on that finish there, and how that call went? Maybe on mute.
There, Jonah.
Hey, Jonah.
There he is.
Let me think. What was that again?
Just wondering how you thought not only the full race went for you and the guys, but how you thought that last lap went. Any disagreements with anything there, or if you feel like it was, kind of the right call there.
Well, I will say one thing. There was one thing that, let's just say, Tanner didn't really follow the rules. Result with like some penalty and stuff. So let me give you some background. So that last wreck on that was the last yellow. At least I looked back at it. I had been looking back at all the other wrecks because I'm also an admin and stuff, and I was making the calls of who was getting the UL and not, right? So that last wreck, the call was because of what it looked like. The call was that McRae had turned the guy for the position, had turned the 3 car, and so McRae was given an EOL, yet Tanner kept on clearing that penalty, and then cleared the passing under yellow penalty that McRae ended up getting. So, honestly, I don't think the positions really are that accurate.
I got you. So
if that makes sense.
Yeah, on the last restart, you think an EOL should have been enforced, but wasn't. And then I wonder, Do you think it was the right decision to strip the win there at the end due to passing under the yellow, or do you think that was not the best call in your favor?
I will say two things. That it wasn't enforced last night in the duel, so that's one thing. And the results still say I'm first, so I mean, iRacing's results will always say that I'm first. So just put it right there.
Yeah, and we can't really speak on the duel. We weren't able to make it last night, so I'm not sure what the ruling on that was. But you know, regardless of what happened, it was a great run for you. You were able to, no matter what, get into a top two position. And a great run for you, Jonah. So we appreciate you coming by and speaking your mind, and we hope to see you next week.
Maybe.
All right, we appreciate it. That was Jonah SB getting a second place finish. But how about we get the winner of the race in now, Luke, ninth gear zone, Nick Donati.
Yeah, bring him on in, Kevin.
Hey, Nick, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, man, a great run for you. A great run for ninth gear. You were able to get the win on a call there at the end. You were able to, get yourself up into that podium spot off the restart, and then hold out. Obviously, I think I know the answer, but A, do you think that was the right call? And B, how were you able to get up there and stay up there throughout the race that had 13 cautions in it?
To be honest with you, it was more or less not really him going below the double yellow. It was the door slam coming back up the track. I think that's really what killed the momentum, and I feel like it would have been a way more of a closer finish than it would have been if he didn't door slam me. But yeah, the whole race long, me, the 47, the 17, 48, the 89, all of us were just hanging out together for the most part, trying to work together, and then everything just kind of fell apart toward the end, and then me, Travis, and Fabian got back together on the last restart, and we were 1, 2, 3 coming to the white flag, and I don't know. I felt like I needed to make a move, and I did, and it worked for the most part until we got back to the checkered flag, and then all hell broke loose. But no, it was a fun race, a lot of cautions, but definitely a thrilling finish.
Yeah, and we got word from Tanner that the going under the yellow wasn't the cause. It was more or less how long he stayed down there. Um, Kind of seemed like he stayed down there a little too long. And then when he did come up, it was the dooring. So, I'm probably a little biased, but I got to agree with the call. You got the momentum now, though. First race, first win. A, do you think we'll see you next week or next Thursday? And B, you think you'll be able to carry that momentum if we do?
Oh, 100%. I think it's Atlanta next week. Another late track, pretty much. These plate tracks are going to be where my strong suit is for the most part. I'm not very confident on any of the other tracks, but I know Daytona, Atlanta, Talladega, those will be my probably strong suits for this whole season, and I can definitely win more of these races when it comes down to it. But I don't know. We'll see with how I ran tonight, if I can, use that to my advantage next week and the week after that and so forth. I feel like I might have a good shot here in this series.
Yeah, and we appreciate the interview and congratulations, Nick. I'll talk to you later. You really represented ninth gear tonight, and we appreciate it. So, congratulations on the win, and go celebrate some.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
That was Nick Donati getting the win after a controversial call there at the end, Luke. How about that race? That was exciting.
Yeah, that was a wild end of the race, Kevin. And before we let everybody out of here, Tanner, you got anything you want to say before we close this stream out here?
Sure. Nick, congratulations. Get some competition for Griffin Motorsports. And I'll take it, man. You did pretty good tonight. To see you at Atlanta. Hope to see you possibly win at Atlanta, but I could finish.
I gotta ask, is it it's the new configuration of Atlanta?
No, it's gonna be the Legacy.
Okay, like the
Okay.
2008.
Yep.
Interesting. We just broadcasted the new Atlanta just last week, so it's gonna be interesting to see the change up between the two different tracks on the broadcast side, at least.
For sure. With Jonah's call, the wreck before, I watched it back on the stream, and to me, it looked like it was netcode. So that's the only reason I was taking it away.
I
And
got
it's
you.
a decision, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot of incidents throughout. We saw time and time again that, we saw some racing incidents as far as the cautions go, where it's hard to, pin a certain driver on it, and B, we did see netcode a few times, so, very hard to determine which incidents are which of those things, but all in all, a great race. We had a blast. We got Atlanta coming up next Thursday, and other than that, I think we have a race tomorrow night, a charity race tomorrow night, if any viewers want to watch another race at a super speedway, but other than that, I think that's about all I got, Luke.
Yeah, and we had a blast broadcasting our first race out here with the Burnt Rubber Racing. Thanks again to Tanner for allowing us the opportunity to broadcast, and we're looking forward to many more. Hope to see you all in the next one. Thanks to the drivers out there for putting on a show, and we'll see you race fans in the